Gwen. Gwen is the choice. Okay. Okay. There's your scaling option. There's your additional threat. You've got quad
Rookie has had a
cap.
fantastic split. I think he's been so pivotal to IG. Knight just happened.
Oh dear, that was an unfortunate timing. Again, I remember at the beginning of the year when we were talking about how rough this matchup was. Knight can look for another solo. Rookie! Oh, good God!
As we were saying, Rookie might be a top 2 mid laner in the region. Knight just happens to be the best. Rock there. I haven't taken aggro. All it would take is a couple of rocks and an auto. Does have to use the flash, but he gets out with a solo kill.
Game 1 started with Knight getting a solo kill. Game 3, he's bookending the series with another Knight now top. Side has got himself needles to work with as I conflate the two solo lanes because it's another solo kill.
Finn solo killing top lane. How many minions does he have to kill?
Is it just one? Watch it just be the one, and that's it.
Well, I mean, you have the HP advantage. I guess he's waiting for his W cooldown. Got a stack Q. And then just ends up getting 3. How close was he? I mean, this is why the Shy takes the trade. I think he realizes actually, that's the whole wave. He needed the whole wave to get level 6, and the Shy just misjudging that. Then gets the full stacks up, hits the needlework, and realizes that's a kill.
Moves forward into mid lane, on flashes over Mako to get the mount up, and now Rookie's in danger, surviving for a little while. Doesn't get as much like work as he'd like done. Looks like there's an Emperor's Divide used at some point there as well, and ends up being BLG punishing in the mid lane.
Oh, and another flame back.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
That's out. Phase 1 flashes for the shield vault, will likely die, gets a bit of triumph feeling, but the upheaval turns it around. That's 2 for 1 in the end. On now, potentially in danger.
Top eSports on their way to their own title top eSports. BLG might just be on their recovery arc just in time to dash the hopes and dreams of other teams.
IG now potentially in danger to dig a Grog Brand. Starfall comes on in, but that's going to be a big old chunk into the Impale. A little deep phase 1. He dies for. What about the rest of the play? The bullet time will force double flashes. They get out to safety. 1 for none right now, but the shove back into the mount up, into the shattering strike. Mako just about balancing to safety. Knight gets knocked up by the decimating smash. Now the curtains get called, and maybe IG can look to punish a little. Not that much damage, though, in the inventory of a Steel Caps Jin.
Realistically, that
level game. The gold's right back to even. Early objective take from IG. Can now look to reset around this volatile. On's just face-checking 3 people. On, why are you there by yourself? There's a level 6 on Mako. Could theoretically have pulled the quickness there to really punish On. They're going to keep driving. Quite managed to find an angle now, but there's the quickness into the grand entrance, and On likely will die. Knight tries to come and support, gets the heal. Double slice shove is pretty good. Knight will help defend the support. Does cost a flash, does cost a heal.
I will say, IG are still even in gold here. Gala has the 4th shot, trading pretty well onto L. Doesn't have his bullet time just yet.
On trying to get full tilt onto Dala, who's quick enough on the retreat with the passive there. Fleet footwork as well, walking across the captive audience, slowed On down. Got a little sidestep on the deadly flourish, required dodge.
Dragon is up. IG will take the fact that On is solo HP and look for a play.
Okay, didn't quite get into the wall. The timing, the gas runs out, but there's the Impale trying to jump on top of the Talia. Over they go. Knight gets out. The shuffle is not that fantastic as the flash come on down, but Elk has been exhausted. Finally gets a bullet time and does stand and deliver well. IG survive it well enough. The Comet Spear only lands onto Rookie. Baton's faster though. Dodge away with the grand entrance, and they can't quite get the kills. Baton now in danger. The curtains are called, and BLG being punished. Need to dodge Elk so low. 4th shot just wide, but Rookie gets Baton.
We asked IG. Carrying goal has been damn good when he gets ahead on this pick. BLG don't hold the Dragon. I do wonder whether for the first time this series, IG do feel like they can drag this late safely, especially with how the early game's going right now.
Agreed. Gaming. Dragon. BLG playing for the first time without the early lead this series. In a comfort spot for them. In general, across this year and split. On in the banana bush here with ult. In comes the Weaver's Wall. Way still here, able to potentially fight. Looking to drive through the wall, gets jumped up on the deadly forest seismic shove.
Oh, the CC.
Away. It's going to go down, but it's a good impale for a second or two. They get the knock on the face, release the flash away. Curtains get called. The time was solid, but now BLG have to retreat as those curtains cause some damage. The most dangerous fabric in the world. Knight gets shuffled back. Rookie. Phenomenal angle. Mako flashes out as On goes looking to keep Knight alive, and they end up losing 2.
Neither top laner gets invested in the play, so it's a 4 of IG. I think IG have got a great angle in here. BLG must get creative in a safe enough way. That's the hard thing, right? You can be creative, be effective in that suit. Smile.
Whoa, it's 6 HP! Base 1! I mean, Wade will die for it, but he's happy enough with the steal, I think.
Baytron outsmited. He smites first. Wade does it second. Teleport now coming in from the side.
No, actually, the curtains get called. Baytron needs to throw the Age Assault. Mako with the quickness rolling onto the back of the pick. Maybe crash down. Double Shattering Strike is decent enough, but there will be the trade back. And ends up being a 1-for-1 plus the Dragon. Flash Cone was cute, but not really saving on.
Shy had to flash out of his own flank angle.
Ooh, went looking for it. Mako managed to grand entrance away out of vision. Elk, even with the strut running.
Gameplay. The skirmishes that they had in the last few games were very impactful. This one feels like it's much more labored. Ult from Silent.
I think Knight's in danger here. He's got his flash, but he's going to be forced to burn something. The Grand Starfall comes on in.
No flash from the Shy.
Might now be in a dangerous position. He's pretty damn tanky, but is he that tanky? Overcomes Elk, and I think the Shy has taken a 1v1. He can't afford. The only thing is, Herald's on the other side of the map, as is a top tier 1, and he's put a lot of resources to get down there, so probably ends up being
at the end of the day that we're interested in. Who's playing better as a team with the jungle in that? This one though, Baytron, gotta keep an eye on that stuff. Bullet time hurts everyone, but much less than some than others.
I'll say at least the bullet times I've seen from Elk have been pretty cool looking. Killed, crash down into Mako. A lot of work. He gets out? No way! Into the redemption. Mako survives, has to burn his flash, but good work. Definitely flourished onto Baytron. And Mako goes, yeah, you have to try hard to catch me.
The damage just isn't there, and now I'm looking at it. You know, a lot of the reason why the damage isn't there is because Knight has ended up losing a lot of farm for these plays. He's actually only 130 CS at 18 minutes, and that's a catch onto Elk. No flash. Dead Misfortune. Easy kill for Gala. BLG failed picks and not protecting their own. Elk pushed it way too far for that kind of play.
And the Shy just ulted mid as well. There's no turret to be afraid of top, so they're going to get the Impale onto Baytron and throws down an Aegis. So in comes the Weaver's Wall. They crash out onto Gala. That's pretty good. Rookie looks at the shuttle, but it's flashed away from Knight. Now trying to find a place to get some value back as Wade, potentially looking to drive onto Knight. Mako slides away with that battle dance. They do go 1-for-1 there at the back end of it. Knight takes Gala with Mako with him. Rookie gets good soldier position, but
I don't know if they'll be able to confidently hold this Tri-Brush, but that's often a good point to hold around this objective. Wade very tanky, Skarner very strong around the Atacama because of these reasons.
Mako looking for a quickness. They've got the Impale, the Magnus on by his time. It's a good shattering strike, but on! He's charmed off the bullet time. Would have been great if they could have just held someone there, but they can't. The shot's got one, but Pit's got bloody deep. He's in the Hallow Mist, but look! He's just sanctifying the grave dirt he's buried in. Atakan now spawn has TP'd into his doom. Baytron has to flash one out of the Shy's decimating smash. The size to Chovy is wide. And Atakan, you've got to feel his IG for the 2-man advantage. BLG has to fight it out.
Roots on tonight. Was wondering if there's any follow-up. Left a lot to be decided. An awful lot. Bin cannot afford to play like that. Even at the 2 items. Baytron, whoa, guys, please go back to life. There's a pad deal. Observers, go back to life.
There's the picture immediately. They're flashing away. They have done exactly that. Baytron got himself another death on the board, and On needs to crash down. Might be crashing out as well as Rookie goes looking for the pick. We'll find another bit of CC onto Talia, courtesy of a deadly flourish. And Knight is forced to take a bow as Jin.
They fly into their face, uncoordinated, and BLG are going to give up this Atacama one way or the other. You have to feel. Bin's back again for another try.
Eagle's trying to stitch the game back up, but unfortunately for him, it's another Impale, another death. And Gala picks up a double. And Atacama is still there, and BLG, when it gets worse, they just continue to Leroy Jenkins in. I hope it gets better.
This is the BLG we know and love from this split, folks. You know, I was setting up for a 3-0 on the storyline, perhaps a turn in it. Perhaps this was the twist. BLG is going
pretty high. He's going to have some very significant AD numbers at this point. A huge amount of tank for BLG to deal with the raw one-shot burst of a Jin.
Oh, look how little vision they have. They have little vision. On is very low HP as well. The range of the Gala Jin is going to be very threatening. 1W could end this game. Legitimately, a pick would lead to the Baron, would lead to the game. IG know the point of power they're in. All 5 in the Baron pit looking for the pick.
6,000 HP, they want to fight. The team managing to tank it well, because again, they've got the Shy. In goes Bin, they're trying to force the fight. Make sure it goes down. The unit bullet time ends up being Gala to secure it somehow, some way. The IG tried to hold the HP and force the fight, and BLG understandably say, look, we just chunk it out with our own ability, because they just don't win the flip.
Sets up for BLG. We saw how difficult it was for BLG to fight with no vision there. Bin will spot the Shy. Wade, the enemy jungle getting picked.
Mako forcing Elk to back off with the Ghost and does, but he's not really there to do damage. Mako now potentially dangerous and back down to safety. The Magnus comes on him, but Knight is already down to about 20% HP. Bin looking for some needlework. It's not bad, but again, he's very alone. Flashes over to try and get towards Gala, who doesn't have the flash. Dodges so much. My God! God, the shots hurt. Now the curtains get called. They need to just about get out of range and do so. And unfortunately for Gala, the audience left before they could give him more applause.
Spin, it's another...
A third of Bin's HP.
Just saying, Bin has limited HP this... yeah, man. Eat the rich. Eat the... IG.
Why largely forced so many resources from BLG that Gala with a turnaround, curtain calls has been a bit of a menace. Rookie at this point had a much more stable game, and 3-man impale into the quickness, the grand entrance, the unstoppable onslaught of Invictus Gaming will steamroll them to a game 4. They aren't done yet, and the clean sweep from Bilibili Gaming is denied.
Oh, we do have a bit of a soap opera. Enemies to lovers to enemies. Wei gets the triple impale against his old team. I brought you to Worlds last year. Here's an impale to make sure there's a roadblock in this series. This will not be a clean 3-0. It will go to at least a 4th game.
I was worried we were going to have a very boring series, folks. Fortunately for all of us, it's anything but. Invictus Gaming crack their neck and swing a solid punch back.
BLG started this game strong. Solo kills in both.